Alright, so Stormzy follow up to Gang Signs and Prayer Hands. Wait, what's it called? Not Prayer Hands. I think it's just called Gang Signs and Prayers. Yeah, not Prayer Hands. That would have been a cool name though. Wait, is it called Gang Signs
And prayers.
Yeah, Gang Signs and Prayer.
Oh, prayer. Yeah.
Prayer Hands would have been cooler because like gang signs you do with your hands and prayer hands.
And that's the emoji.
Yeah, Gang Signs and Prayer Hands. Stormzy, call me next time. But yeah, Heavy as the Head is the follow-up. That came out in 2017. I thought it came out way earlier than that. I thought it came out in like 2015. I thought we were waiting a long time, but 2 years. Well, basically 3 years. But yeah, this album had some really good songs. Like I really did enjoy Superheroes. I did enjoy Big Michael, Audacity, Crown, Do Better, Pop Boy. And obviously Vossi Bop and Wiley Flow were highlights for me. So I did like over half the album. So I did enjoy this album a lot. This is one of the few reviews of English rap that I've done, of UK hip hop. Wouldn't really classify this as grime. It's a bit too poppy for that. And that's what Wiley has called him out on. And that's what's funny about Wiley. Wiley is sort of the creator of grime. He sort of did start this because before grime was like UK hard rap, it was like electronic music. Like it wasn't even rap. And Wiley is calling Stormzy out and saying you sold out, but Wiley's doing the exact same thing, but just not as good. Wiley's basically saying you're selling out and becoming a pop star, and then he's just getting angry because Wiley's doing a worse job at him. Like, Wiley's trying to do the same thing. He's worked with Drake, he's worked with other big names, but he's just nowhere near
As successful.
the level and the as successful as Stormzy. So I think they've sort of gone back and forth on this, and I don't think he even can. Stormzy changed the song Wiley Flow because it is a homage to Wiley, and they're obviously beefing at the moment, but it could be all for publicity. But I don't really think Stormzy needs the publicity. But
No.
Let's get into the review. So it starts off with Big Michael, and the intro is just some man saying, Stormzy, you need to release music in it, bruv. That's basically what he says. He says, release some fucking music, man, dickhead.
That's 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah. And one of my favourite lines is the first line of the whole album. Said I went mainstream, suck your mum.
I remember that line. Suck your mum.
Not top two, top one. Top one, top one, top one. Like, he does a really good job. And in the first two songs, Big Michael and Audacity, he does this really cool. He does it throughout the album, but he does it really great in this song where he just sort of, like, changes the tone of his voice. Like, he'll go to, like, talk, like, rapping normally, and then he'll just, like, start talking really quietly. Just, like, in between, and then just integrate it back in, and it's a really cool... I can't remember the... it was when he was talking about Henry VIII. What is he talking about that?
Oh, that's a cool thing to talk about.
Like, I like that.
I like the brass.
Yeah. Like, he does, like, a really good job, and I really like the, what was the line? Man's not scared of ticks or spiders. They think man's scared of sets and ciphers.
Oh.
Like, I think that's a really cool
Yeah.
line. We lie on prayers, them threats won't find us. But yeah, obviously, if you've kept up with the UK rap scene, and this album coincidentally was released on the day the voting closed for Brexit, and for the, not for Brexit, I think it was for Brexit, but for the, I don't know, the polls closed. I'm not really up to date with the actual politics, but I know Stormzy has been a massive advocate, and he's been like a spokesperson for the black youth. He's obviously funded black youth to go to Cambridge University. He's obviously, he had people yelling out "fuck Boris Johnson" at festivals, at shows. Obviously with Vossi Bop.
And he went to that like his school and talked to, I think it was like grade 4 kids or something.
Probably, yeah.
And someone asked him, "Why don't you like Boris Johnson?" He's like, "Oh, he's a bad man."
Yeah, and I think that he's sort of become this spokesperson for the UK people, and especially for the black youth in particular. The song
Black Ute.
Youth, yeah. The song Superheroes really highlights this, talking about black kings, black queens, and then he sort of highlights a lot of people. Serena or Venus, obviously the Williams sisters. Mallory Blackman, who's an author, talking about all that banging on the door got my girl shook. Look, sorry, officer, I only sell hooks. Obviously talking about he's a musician. He talks about Nina Simone, Lil Sims, see her on stage. I know that women can become kings. He talks about, who else did he talk? He talked about more people. He talked about, he said, trying to scare us with some things that we're no longer afraid of. Men are superheroes. Let me see you take off. I pray you never have to take your cape off. He talks about Michael Dapper. I'm not sure who that is, but I assume...
That's Big Shark.
Is it?
I'm pretty certain that's... Like, that's his actual name. Like, obviously, Big Shark is just a character.
Oh, it could be, because he said, I'm from the place where Michael Dapper made a smash hit, where you can be a rapper if you rap sick. So maybe it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's Big Shark.
It's Big Shark. There you go. And then he also does say what a time it is to be a black Brit, which is a lot of British people are that are like black are really making waves. Like we even see guys in YouTube, KSI. We see guys on TV. Obviously, these guys are already established, but Idris Elba. There's that guy that was in Get Out. I forget his name. And he was out of Black Mirror 2. You've obviously got Stormzy, Lil Sim, Slow Tie. You got a bunch of guys. Krypton Conan, Skepta. Like you got a lot of people coming just from the UK. Then you obviously got to talk about all the people in the United States and all around the world that are just bringing a great name to the people. And the UK and England certainly haven't been guilt-free or innocent in racism. Racism is very rampant throughout the world, but as well as England, as well as Australia, the United States, a lot of Europe, Italy in particular that I've seen anyway. I'm sure a lot of other countries are too, but Stormzy is just trying to break this sort of oppression and break these kids, this youth out of the cycle of oppression, or really. But yeah, that's that. So that's those two songs. Audacity is my favorite song on this album. Like, he debuted this actually on Zane Lowe's podcast or the whatever it was, like his Music Daily thing where he releases new music. Is it on a TV show? I don't even know. Oh, on a radio show? I'm not sure. But this was definitely my favorite track. Heady One is on this, who actually just did get sent to prison for 6 months. He had a lock knife on him without good reason, so...
The fuck is a lock knife?
So a knife that... Or I always thought it was just a fold knife, or what are they called?
Oh, like a switchblade?
Like a switchblade, but
yeah.
It sticks in that position. So like you can... Yeah, but it's essentially a switchblade, but it doesn't go back down.
Like ever?
No, you can press a button.
Oh,
I feel like that's just a switchblade. I don't know. Oh, well, there's a difference between a lock knife and a switchblade, apparently. I don't know. But yeah, you can't obviously have that. Knife crime is a huge deal in the UK and Canada as well, I recently learned. Yeah, a lot of places where you can't have guns, knives are probably your next best bet. So.
Oh, yeah. I think the big problem in Australia is like crowbars.
Bottles.
Yeah.
Glass. But yeah, I really like this. So Heady One is away at the moment, but he released this song and he was in the music video. So Audacity, obviously talking about people having the audacity to test him. One of my favorite lines is, who the fuck went and gassed you up like you're good enough to be clashing me? Oh, please stop harassing me. Charge me up and put gas in me. The little fish want to try ting. Oh man, the audacity. Like, charge me up and put gas in me. That got me so hyped up when when I heard that.
Fuck, he is hard.
I really liked. Had to slang this cane, no hurry. Now my track suits say Balmain Parry. Smoke on bro, no Cali, so you better know Welbeck Danny. And then that's two football lines. There's a striker called Harry Kane. Kane, no Harry. Obviously he's talking about cocaine. And then so you better stay well back, Danny. There's a player called Danny Welbeck, and he's obviously using a play on words there. I like this line too because I learned how to work this handy. Knowledge is power. Ask Gandhi. Andy. Handy, rather. Yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks. Really great. I will say throughout the middle of this, it sort of clogged up and I didn't really like a lot of filler. Like the track with Ed Sheeran, I wasn't a big fan of. And it did have Burna Boy, so I did have high hopes. Ed Sheeran can rap. He has rapped before. Him and Stormzy are good friends, so I thought this would be more rap, but it is more pop, unfortunately. Anyone familiar with the UK rap scene will know who H is. Aitch. Real up-and-comer. A lot of people are saying he's going to be the next big thing. He's this little skinny white boy, but he can rap, I can tell you that. I really like H. He's coming to Australia too, so if you want to go see him and you're from Australia, he is going, I think, around every major city, so you should be able to get tickets. But again, this one was a little bit more poppy. Obviously, H sort of is in that Stormzy category where it's a bit rap, a bit pop. I will play a little bit of it, but yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea, this one in particular. H has got skills. H has got skills. I'll give him that.
He's doing it effortlessly as well.
H is good. I'll give him that. Like, definitely like H. He's definitely one of my favorite up-and-comers. There, but yeah, Ed Sheeran didn't really. He did have a verse, but I'll play it. But it didn't really impress me too much. Burna Boy was on the chorus, and he did intertwine with Stormzy on his verse, but nothing special there, unfortunately. One of the first things I didn't love from Burna Boy. It's not really rap. Like, it's just a bit poppy. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, it's very
Sounds like South at the Border.
Is that a song by him?
Yeah, by Ed.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard it. I don't think, anyway. Yeah, Pop Boy, like I said, obviously returning, referencing to pop music, and that he's sort of been called a pop boy, maybe by Wiley, I don't know. But yeah, this is, yeah, that's basically it, really. But Wiley Flow, if, what did I say was my favorite song? Audacity wasn't my favorite song. This would definitely be up there. This is one of the hard, like, the way he starts each verse, I just love. Like, he starts the first, if you can't do 10K first week, then I don't want to hear no chat about numbers. You men are my youngers. All bracked out like grungers. And then, and then at the end he says, if you ain't got more than 5 top 10s, then I don't want to hear about no chat about charting. And then at the end he says, if you ain't got no platinum plaques, then I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear no chat about. And then he's like, nah, I'm joking, because that's very hard to do, I believe, to get a platinum plaque. But yeah, this song just goes dummy hard. Like, it's a disgusting beat.
I think I've heard this.
If you can't do 10K first week, then I don't want to hear no chat about numbers.
4 verses too. He went pretty hard on this. I really like the start swinging my arms like Carlton, start swinging my arms like Anthony, like two boxes there. I thought that was pretty hard. Pretty hard. But yeah, this is definitely an album you should check out. It's nowhere near as good as Gang Signs and Prayer, I don't think. I think that song, that album rather, just had some really great hits. Obviously, Blinded by Your Grace. What else was on there? Big for Your Boots, Shut Up.
Yeah,
just had a lot of bangers. This album does have bangers. Like Vossi Bop was like a huge hit.
Yeah.
Big Michael, Audacity. The song with Ed Sheeran and Burna Boy is going to do numbers. Like, that's probably going to boost the sales up by maybe 10, 15K. Like, not massively, but like, it's going to put him even further ahead. But yeah, definitely check this out. It's a really great album. I'm only going to give it a 7 out of 10 because we waited so long for this. I thought it could be a little bit stronger. There's a bit too much filler through the middle that I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, shout outs to 8, shout out to Heady One, and who was the other feature that I really enjoyed? I think that was it actually. So yeah, Heady One and H did really good on this. Stormzy did very well too. I think this is a touch better than Skepta's Ignorance is Bliss, but much of the sameness. I think I gave them both a 7. So when they finally collab, we'll finally maybe get a higher score than 7. But